There is a divine courier assigned to your name. The heavens have been watching, weighing, and whispering your next step into destiny. And now, as May 7th approaches like a divine checkpoint, the angel of transfer is nearing your atmosphere. This is not an ordinary season. This is a divine window, a celestial gate, and your moment to cross into the fullness of what has long been delayed. But there's a condition, one so invisible it often goes unnoticed. Doubt, hesitation, the quiet refusal to fully believe what heaven has already decreed. That unseen resistance is more powerful than your enemies, more disruptive than the voices that rise against you. If you are still doubting, the transfer will pass you by, not because heaven wants to deny you, but because heaven cannot entrust elevation to a spirit that still questions its own worth. You were marked long ago for this shift, but the final test is not external, it is internal. Will you believe enough to receive? Archangel Michael, heaven's mighty messenger and defender of destiny, has already been released on your behalf. His sword is drawn, not to fight flesh and blood, but to pierce through confusion, fear, and self-sabotage. And yet, he cannot deliver what you refuse to claim. Doubt is not just a feeling, it is a language. When you doubt, you speak against your own promotion. When you delay belief, you delay movement. And time, the sacred time, is running out. You are in the last days before the transfer activates. Your name is in the air. Your provision is circling. Your next season is waiting for your yes, your faith, your agreement. But if you continue to second-guess what God has already prepared, you will watch others receive what was meant for you. This is a season where the heavens are no longer tolerating indecision. That's why the pressure feels heavier. That's why the warfare intensified. It's not punishment. It's preparation. Archangel Michael has seen the timeline. He knows what May 7th unlocks. He sees the portal and he sees the people. Not everyone around you will understand what is happening. Some will think you're being too quiet, too still, too reserved. But they don't know the magnitude of the decision you're making in the spirit. They don't know that doubt, if left unchecked, will close a door that faith could have flung wide open. Michael has come to confront that doubt. He hath come to speak to your soul in this moment. Heaven's announcement is clear. Your angel of transfer will arrive before May 7th. But it will not wait on you. It will not beg. It will not return a second time. Either you believe now, or you watch the window close. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of your spiritual timeline, declaring this warning with unshakable certainty. Before May 7th, the angel of transfer will arrive, but it will skip you if you're still doubting. His voice thunders through the spiritual realm, shaking loose everything that no longer aligns with divine timing. His presence is not just comforting, it is commanding. Because this is not a soft season. This is not a gentle invitation. This is a divine moment that demands decisive faith. He says, "You who have cried, you who have waited, you who have fasted and watched others receive, this is your appointed time. But your faith must meet your favor. Heaven is no longer playing in delay. What was promised is now packed and being dispatched. The angel has already begun descending. The only question is, will you be ready to receive, or will your doubt tell heaven you're not? The atmosphere is already shifting. Some of you have felt it. Your sleep has changed, your discernment sharpened, your emotions stirred. You are not imagining things. You are feeling the movement of the divine courier. This angel is not just bringing my. This angel is carrying restoration, reconciliation, divine partnerships, bold opportunities, and supernatural alignment. But doubt is the chain that binds the door shut. Michael warns, if you hesitate now, the door you prayed for will open, but for someone else. This is not cruelty. This is spiritual law. Doubt delays. Faith commands. And time is moving fast. As the sun sets each day, the angel moves closer to your name. But your heart must be clear. Your mind must be steady. You must speak belief, walk belief, breathe belief. Because if the angel arrives and hears silence, they will pass. Not in anger, but in obedience to divine timing. Heaven cannot land where there is no invitation. The time is now. Your faith is the invitation. Type "I am ready" in the comments if this message touches your spirit. Blessing code 777 is now opening divine transfer pathways in your atmosphere. There is a stirring behind the veil, and it is not all holy. Even as your angel of transfer approaches, there are whispers circling your name like smoke in the spiritual air. They are subtle. They are quiet. But they are strategic. Archangel Michael has seen them. Those who smile in your presence but question your assignment behind closed doors. There are those who sense something is shifting for you and have grown uncomfortable in your silence, jealous in your stillness, and resentful of your resilience. Some thought they knew you. Some believed your quietness was weakness. But they never realized it was divine incubation. They misunderstood your delay as defeat, unaware that you were being held back by heaven only to be released into something greater than they could comprehend. And now, with your angel nearing, their spirits grow anxious, not because of what you said, but because of what you are about to become. Michael speaks clearly now. There is a conversation happening behind your back. But it is not just gossip. It is spiritual interference. This is the season where your silence is being misread, where your absence is being labeled as pride, where your boundaries are being twisted into betrayal. But do not react. Do not respond. Their confusion is a sign. It is confirmation that your transfer is real. The closer you get to destiny, the more misinterpretation you will attract. This is not a sign that something is wrong. This is a sign that you're about to cross over. But here is where the danger lies. If you allow their words to plant doubt in your spirit, the transfer will be halted. Not by them, but by your own hesitation. That is the true strategy of the enemy in this hour. Not to attack your body, not to destroy your reputation, but to plant enough emotional confusion that you start questioning what heaven already confirmed. This is why Archangel Michael comes with urgency. He has seen this strategy before. He has watched people delay their own breakthrough by entertaining the voices of misalignment. You must understand, when someone says you've changed, it's often because they've lost access to the version of you that served them, not God. When they say you're distant, it's because your divine evolution has pulled you into a dimension they cannot enter. And so they speak. They whisper. They twist fragments of your story and call it truth. But heaven knows the full picture. And heaven is not confused about who you are. Do not let the fragments they found shake the foundation you've been building in secret. Archangel Michael is sweeping through your spiritual circle now, revealing to you, often in subtle, emotional ways, who cannot go with you. There will be tension. There will be strange feelings in familiar spaces. But do not resist it. It is a sign. The angel cannot land in a place of divided loyalty. Some of you are wrestling right now, not just with doubt, but with grief. Because you can feel people slipping away. You can feel relationships shifting. You're questioning, did I do something wrong? But Michael says no. You didn't do anything wrong. You just grew. and growth intimidates the comfortable. This mystery, this emotional disruption, is not punishment, it is prophecy. The silence from certain people is divine protection. The confusion they feel about your peace is evidence that you're entering a spiritual frequency they cannot tune into. The pain you feel is real, but it is also purposeful. Let it break the last emotional ties to who you used to be. Because the angel of transfer is coming for who you are becoming, not who you were. Type "I release emotional ties" in the comments if you're ready to move forward. Blessing code 626 is releasing clarity and protection over your relationships. This conflict you feel, it's not what it seems. This pressure you've been under, it's not natural. The tension in your environment, the rising miscommunications, the subtle warfare, it is all spiritual. Archangel Michael makes this clear. This isn't personal, it's spiritual. The people may have faces, the voices may have names, but the force behind it all is invisible. It is the darkness reacting to your approaching light. It is the atmosphere shaking because your time has finally come. And make no mistake, it has come. The angel of transfer is not coming with maybe, not coming with delay, not coming with indecision. It is coming with fire, with clarity, with divine assignment in hand. But as the transfer draws closer, the resistance gets louder, not because it has power over you, but because it's desperate to stop what can no longer be reversed. You were not chosen for comfort. You were chosen for conquest. You were not called to blend in. You were marked to break patterns. You are not just rising, you are rising while seen. And when heaven marks someone in plain sight, the enemy tries to shake the ground beneath them to test their stability. But Archangel Michael reminds you, your footing is not based on the approval of people. Your footing is anchored in the one who called you. You were not called by chance. You were chosen on purpose. The conflict you feel now is the world reacting to the ceiling that heaven placed over your life. It's not that they hate you, it's that they recognize the authority that covers you, even when you don't recognize it yourself. That's why the warfare began to rise as you got closer to belief. That's why the gossip intensified the moment you quieted your spirit to hear from God. The enemy knows. The moment you fully believe, the transfer becomes unstoppable. So now comes the real test, not of endurance, but of perspective. Can you see through spiritual eyes? Can you recognize that every attack was allowed to train you, not break you? Every betrayal was a divine classroom. Every misunderstanding was a setup to pull you into a posture of prayer. You have been in training for this moment. The enemy doesn't send this much chaos to someone who isn't carrying something. You've been wondering, why now? Why this? Because the enemy knows what you carry. You're a threat. You're anointed. You're aligned. And that scares hell itself. Archangel Michael declares it boldly. The greater the attack, the greater the assignment. The louder the conflict, the closer the breakthrough. Your resistance is not proof you're doing something wrong. It's proof you're finally doing something right. And now, with days remaining before May 7th, you must reframe everything. Stop asking, why are they doing this to me? And start declaring, they only attack what is ascending. Stop thinking you're being punished and realize you're being positioned. The enemy never targets the lost. He targets the found. He targets the rising. He targets the ones whose names have been whispered in heaven. You are that one. The transfer is looking for you. But it will only land if you pass this test, not by fighting back, but by standing firm in your divine identity. You are not the label they gave you. You are not the failure they predicted. You are not the mistake they hope you will repeat. You are sealed, anointed, and protected. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword not to fight flesh and blood, but to clear the spiritual fog clouding your vision. He is here to remind you, this battle is not about them. It's about what's been assigned to you. And now, rise. Rise with perspective. Rise with clarity. Rise with the authority that comes from heaven itself. The angel of transfer is not coming for the weak in faith. It is coming for the ones who know the truth behind the conflict. You are not under attack. You are under preparation. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated and surrounding your spirit with heavenly clarity. The air is thick with movement. Heaven has already issued the order. Your angel of transfer is not standing still. It is on the way, drawing closer with each passing hour. But Archangel Michael gives you this next divine revelation. The closer the transfer approaches, the more intense the shaking will become. You are stepping into the most sensitive spiritual hours of this season, and there are forces, seen and unseen, that are attempting to provoke you out of position. Listen carefully. The enemy does not fear your words. The enemy fears your silence, your stillness, your unbending faith. And so he sends agitation. He sends rumors. He sends confusion wrapped in conversation, and confrontation dressed as care. You are not being attacked randomly. You are being baited deliberately. Archangel Michael reveals, in the next 72 hours, there will be a test. It may come as a message. It may come as a post. It may come through someone you never expected. But it will come. And when it comes, you must remember this word. Reaction invites delay. Restraint signals readiness. The enemy wants a reaction, because reactions are loud, unstable, flesh-driven. But restraint is rooted in confidence. Restraint is the silent thunder that heaven responds to. If you allow yourself to be provoked by the sudden tension, the angel will pause. Because the angel of transfer cannot land where the air is filled with retaliation. The spirit moves in still waters. You are being watched, not by people but by the spiritual realm. They are observing your response, your posture, your patience. Will you stay grounded, or will you be pulled into earthly emotions? Archangel Michael warns. There is a spirit of sabotage seeking entrance through the door of familiarity. It may come through someone who used to have access. It may come from a place where you once found comfort. But don't be deceived. Not every familiar voice carries friendly intentions. The enemy often speaks in tones you've trusted. That's why this next moment is so critical. You cannot afford to second-guess the stirring in your spirit. When you feel something is off, it is. When your peace is disrupted without explanation, pay attention. Heaven's language is peace. The enemy's entrance is always confusion. There is something trying to enter your emotions before May 7th, and it has one goal: to delay the landing of the angel that is carrying your next season. Archangel Michael has already stationed divine sentinels around your assignment. He is guarding your gates. But you must cooperate with the protection. You must not open doors that heaven is trying to close. You must not revisit conversations that God already ended. You must not entertain energies that carry hidden envy. Right now, your spiritual gate is sensitive. This is not the time to be casual with your access. You cannot afford to let anyone speak over your life who isn't aligned with the vision God gave you. You are too close. The transfer is too near. You cannot afford a moment of doubt. A single word can pollute the soil of your faith, and Archangel Michael is urging you to guard it with everything you have. This is the time for radical spiritual discipline. Guard your ears. Guard your mouth. Guard your thoughts. They are the entry points for destiny or delay. This is not just about protection. It's about prophetic timing. You are standing at the gate of May 7th, and what you do now determines what you receive then. Archangel Michael is not here to comfort you. He is here to command you. Do not fold under pressure. Do not respond out of pride. Do not move unless heaven says move. Let them text. Let them poke. Let them provoke. But let your silence speak the language of spiritual maturity. If you remain still, the angel will arrive. If you remain steady, the transfer will land. And if you remain rooted in belief, nothing can steal what has already been written in your name. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Type "I will not react" in the comments if you receive this warning. Blessing code 3434 has now activated a shield of restraint around your heart. Archangel Michael now releases a different kind of instruction, one not wrapped in warfare, but in wisdom. You have heard the warnings. You have seen the shaking. You have felt the rising tension, the unpredictable emotions, the subtle provocations. But now heaven speaks to your spirit with a calming authority. Be still and stay hidden beneath divine instruction. The most powerful thing you can do right now is not retaliate, not speak, not defend, but remain grounded in divine silence. The enemy is baiting you into noise, but heaven is calling you into stillness. This is where protection is found. This is where divine intelligence flows. This is how transfer lands, not on the loud, not on the reactive, but on the ones who choose stillness over strategy and obedience over explanation. Michael says, do not explain yourself. Do not give them access to your voice when they've already mishandled your name. You spent enough time defending yourself to people who were never called to understand you. Enough time rehearsing your story to hearts that never had the capacity to carry it. Silence now becomes your sword. Stillness now becomes your armor. Do not seek to be understood. Seek to remain aligned. When you explain yourself to those who refuse to see you, you are not clarifying. You are compromising. And the transfer that is coming is far too sacred to be placed in an atmosphere of misunderstanding. God is not asking you to perform. He is asking you to prepare. He is not asking for response. He is asking for reverence. That means ignoring the urge to speak, ignoring the invitation to explain, and ignoring the impulse to control the narrative. In this holy silence, heaven fights for you. In this silence, the angel of transfer is able to locate you without interference. Remember this, your stillness is not passivity, it is prophetic alignment. The enemy is confused when you don't react. Darkness is disrupted when you stay calm. Your spiritual enemy thrives on your instability. But when you anchor yourself in peace, when you worship instead of worrying, when you speak only when heaven instructs, you build a force field that cannot be penetrated. Archangel Michael is currently encircling your name. He is positioning angels around your household, your finances, your emotions, and your next step. But they respond to spiritual posture. And your posture in this hour must be still, must be unbothered, must be quietly confident in the fact that you are not alone. You are being covered. Do not underestimate the power of being hidden. There is protection in being underestimated. There is power in letting them think you've forgotten, disappeared, surrendered. Because the less they see you coming, the more undeniable it will be when you rise. Archangel Michael urges you now, do not chase closure. Do not chase validation. Do not chase revenge. Chase alignment. Chase peace. Chase purity of spirit. You are too close to be distracted. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. Let them guess. But you stay locked in. You stay planted. You stay unmoved. Because heaven is not moved by noise. Heaven is moved by faith. And faith does not scream. Faith sits. Faith waits. Faith listens. Faith trusts that what is coming is greater than what is being lost. And right now, that is your assignment. To wait without wavering. You are protected. You are encircled. You are watched over. But heaven needs your cooperation. Do not invite in what God has already removed. Do not entertain what God has exposed. The enemy is clever, but heaven is clearer. Listen. Stay still. Watch what happens when you choose stillness over striving. When you choose peace over proving. When you choose to trust the transfer rather than chase the noise. Type "I choose stillness" in the comments if this message anchors your spirit. Blessing code 888 is now surrounding you with divine calm and spiritual shielding. You have endured the shaking. You have withstood the testing. You have remained silent when provoked, steady when misunderstood, faithful when forgotten. And now, Archangel Michael releases this decree. You are no longer who they thought you were. You have crossed an invisible threshold in the spirit. The fire that once threatened to consume you has refined you. The rejection that once bruised your heart has redirected your focus. The pain that once left you questioning your worth has now become the platform upon which your authority is built. This is not the season where you rise timidly. This is the season where you rise unmistakably. Your elevation will not be hidden. There is a shift happening in your spirit. A recalibration, a repositioning. You're beginning to feel it, not just as hope, but as certainty. You're no longer praying out of desperation. You're praying from declaration. You're no longer waiting for signs. You are the sign. Heaven has not forgotten you. Heaven has been preparing through you. And now that the dust is settling, now that the distractions have been silenced, now that your heart has matured, heaven is ready to deliver what doubt once delayed. Archangel Michael is no longer just guarding your path. He's clearing the way. Because you are finally in position. You are finally aligned. You are finally ready to receive. Understand this. The people who underestimated you will soon be forced to recalibrate their assumptions. The ones who dismissed your silence will witness your sudden rise. The ones who doubted your capacity will watch heaven endorse you publicly. You are entering a divine contradiction, where the least expected is the most promoted, where the quiet becomes the storm, where the overlooked becomes the overcomer. You are not stepping into blessing as a beggar. You are entering as a bold recipient of what God already authored in your name. No apology. No shrinking. No more second-guessing your right to rise. This transfer is not a reward for your works. It's a release because of your obedience. You are now walking with a different grace. You are walking with a weight of purpose, the clarity of vision, and the shield of divine favor. You are not who you were before the battle. You've been upgraded internally, and the external blessings are simply following suit. The financial shift, the emotional restoration, the relational alignment, the sudden opportunities, these are all byproducts of the deeper transformation that has occurred in your soul. And Archangel Michael wants you to see it plainly. This transfer is not just about things. It's about the version of you who finally believes you're worthy of it. Heaven was not withholding. You were still evolving. But now, the evolution is undeniable. The growth is evident. The preparation is complete. You are not just ready, you are releasing readiness into the atmosphere with every word, every step, every breath. The ones who tried to stop you, block you, delay you, they were never your true opposition. Your real enemy was the version of you that accepted less, tolerated delay, and questioned whether you were truly chosen. But that version has died in the fire of refinement. That version has been buried in silence. That version no longer speaks for you. You speak now from the healed place, from the holy place, from the elevated perspective. You are not watching others rise. You are the one who is rising. And heaven is not only backing you, it is broadcasting you. If this message empowers your soul and you'd like to show support, consider a super thanks of $10. Your generosity keeps messages like this flowing into the hearts that need them most. Type "I'm rising" in the comments if this message resonates. Blessing code 1144 is now unlocking divine upgrades in your atmosphere. And now, as the spiritual dust settles and your posture has shifted, Archangel Michael brings forward the final revelation. This is the last test before your elevation. What's been happening around you, the silence, the pressure, the betrayal, the emotional detachment, has not been random. It hath been measured. It hath been permitted. It has been sacred. Because heaven never promotes without process. And what you've been walking through, though painful, has been precisely that, a divine process. Not punishment, not rejection, but refinement. And now, with the final days before May 7th ticking away like thunder beneath time itself, the angel of transfer hovers at the threshold. The scroll is sealed. The decree is signed. But still, heaven waits for your agreement. This last test is not about strength. It is about surrender. Can you let go of what no longer aligns so you can rise into what was always yours? Archangel Michael declares this with absolute authority. Peace will arrive in unexpected ways. The ones who left will no longer ache. The doors that close will no longer grieve your spirit. The unanswered questions will no longer keep you up at night. The wound will no longer bleed. You are entering a season where emotional residue will be washed clean, not by time, but by truth. The truth that you were always enough. The truth that your delay was never denial, it was divine timing. And now, the release is forming. It may begin subtly. A sudden call. An email you weren't expecting. A connection you thought had gone silent. A financial breakthrough that hits without warning. But know this, it will come. And it will come fast. Because heaven rewards those who waited with reverence. There is someone watching right now who has wept in secret, who has prayed with a shaky voice, who has asked repeatedly, God, when is it my turn? And this is your answer. May 7th is not just a date, it is a divine pivot. Everything begins to shift on that day. Your name will be whispered in rooms you've never entered. Your spirit will be recognized by those heaven has assigned to bless you. Even the people who once ignored you will begin to feel the pull of your transformation. They won't understand it, but they'll feel it. Because what's happening in your life is not manufactured. It's miraculous. You didn't fake this rise. You forged it, through fire, through silence, through unseen obedience. The transfer you've been waiting for is not being negotiated anymore. It's being released. And when it lands, it will not come empty. It will carry recompense. It will carry recovery. It will carry restoration of what was lost, stolen, or delayed. But most importantly, it will carry a divine signature that says, approved by heaven. You will not have to explain it. You will not have to fight for it. You will not have to force it. The grace on your life will be the evidence. The light in your eyes will be the confirmation. And the peace that rests upon you will be the final sign that you are no longer walking toward the promise. You are in it. And so, Archangel Michael urges you now, stay grounded. Stay humble. Stay ready. Because this final moment is sacred. It is thin. It is fragile. And it is powerful. Do not move without clarity. Do not rush. Do not panic. The delivery is already in motion. All that is required now is your continued belief, your stillness, and your bold agreement with what God has already decided. You are not missing this transfer. You are the reason it's happening. It is not being delayed. It is being perfected. And it will land in its full weight upon your life in the coming days. Type "I am ready for my transfer" in the comments if you believe this is your season. Blessing code 7777 is now opening the doors of divine release and sealing your transformation. Now that you've seen the signs, now that you've felt the stirring, now that your heart knows what your spirit has long been whispering, it is time to move. Not with your feet, not with your hands, but with your faith. The angel of transfer has not been circling your life by accident. The atmosphere around you has not shifted by coincidence. The tension in your relationships, the unease in your soul, the whispers of breakthrough in your dreams, all of it has been confirmation. But confirmation means nothing without activation. And now, Archangel Michael delivers this truth in commanding clarity. You must respond in faith to open the door that heaven has already sent the key for. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the moment to second guess. This is your hour of decision. The angel is near. The scroll is sealed. The transfer is on schedule. But it will pass by the hearts that remain closed. It will skip over the ones who still entertain doubt. Because heaven doesn't respond to silence. Heaven responds to sound. Not the sound of noise, but the sound of belief. The declaration of alignment. The agreement of destiny. Archangel Michael says this now with fire in his voice. If you want this transfer, you must declare that you are ready to carry it. You must type it. Speak it. Feel it. Walk in it. And never return to the small version of you that begged for crumbs when heaven had prepared a banquet. There is power in your declaration. When you type, "I am chosen," the spiritual realm hears it as a legal binding. When you declare, "I am ready," angels begin to descend with assignment in hand. When you speak it aloud, no matter how quietly, no matter how uncertainly, you break the silence that doubt has built around your breakthrough. You must not wait for May 7th to act like it's already happened. You must walk now as if the transfer has already landed. That is the faith that unlocks it. You don't receive because you're perfect. You receive because you are positioned. You receive because you believe. And belief is not a feeling. It is a decision. A war cry. A bold, radical yes to what God has already written in your name. The delay's not in heaven. It's in hesitation. But if you speak today, if you type today, if you lift your hands, open your heart, and make that sacred agreement, your angel will know where to land. The angel of transfer doesn't come to the confused. It comes to the convinced. And right now, heaven is scanning the earth for those who are no longer negotiating with fear, no longer dancing with doubt, no longer delaying obedience. The angel of transfer is coming to the ones who say, "I'm ready. I'm steady. I believe." And if that's you, Your name is already rising on divine winds. Don't keep this confirmation to yourself. Don't scroll in silence. Don't dismiss the call with passive agreement. Make your belief known. Speak it in your room. Speak it in the comments. Speak it in your prayers. Because your voice has power. And this is not just a ritual. It is a prophetic announcement. You are drawing your angel into your atmosphere with every syllable of surrender. Let this moment be your turning point. Let this be the hour heaven knows you are no longer just hoping. You are hosting the presence of what's to come. Type "I align with heaven" in the comments if you're ready to take this final step. Blessing code 999 is now active, drawing the angel of transfer directly into your field of favor. And now, as this prophetic message nears its final seal, Archangel Michael stands in stillness over your timeline. His wings spread wide, his sword lowered, not in battle, but in benediction. Because the war is no longer around you. The war has already been won within you. You are not who you were when this message began. You are no longer confused. You are no longer wavering. You are no longer sitting in silence, begging for signs. You are the sign. You are the proof. You are the one heaven has been preparing this entire time. This moment has not been about information, it has been about identity. And now, with your identity secure, your affirmation must rise like incense into the spiritual realm. I am no longer a victim. I am the revelation. They tried to dim your light, but the darkness only made it brighter. They tried to confuse your calling, but the chaos only clarified it. They tried to break your spirit, but the fire only refined it. And now, you do not rise timidly, you rise triumphantly. You do not question whether you're chosen, you declare it. You no longer shrink to fit in places you've outgrown. You no longer speak softly to accommodate those who never heard you to begin with. Archangel Michael says this now with divine clarity. You have become the storm they never saw coming. And your stillness. It was never silence. It was strategy. Every quiet day, every unanswered call, every misunderstood moment was not a delay. It was heaven building your elevation in secret. What happens next is not based on luck. It is not based on timing. It is based on the unshakable decision you've made to align with heaven fully. The transfer will not skip you. It cannot. Because you've given it permission to land. The angel of transfer will not question your location, because your declaration made your coordinates known. The spiritual realm now recognizes your voice. The atmosphere has registered your belief. You have aligned not only your words, but your walk. You are no longer waiting for elevation, you are walking in it. And as you move forward, everything must respond. Circumstances must shift. Finances must align. Health must restore. Opportunities must emerge. Because your presence is now prophetically charged. Let the world whisper. Let the past try to haunt you. Let the doubters watch. But you walk with heaven at your back. You walk with angels at your side. You walk with the full confidence that nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop a soul that has finally said yes. Not a hesitant yes. Not a maybe. But a thunderous, all-consuming, no turning back yes. This is your season. This is your scroll. This is your surge. And nothing can cancel what you've claimed by faith. If you've made it this far, and this message has ignited something in you, consider sewing back into this work through a super thanks or membership. Even a one-time gift of $20 helps us keep these divine messages flowing to those who need them most. Your support matters, and we honor it deeply. So now, as the spiritual realm seals this moment, speak your last declaration, not as one who is unsure, but as one who is unshakable. Say it out loud. Type it with authority. Let heaven echo with your affirmation. I am not waiting. I am walking. I am chosen. I am aligned. I am unstoppable. Type I am the revelation in the comments if this message sealed your spirit. Blessing code 5050 is now releasing favor, fire, and finality over everything that once resisted your rise.